don't really dance it, and that it's only kept alive for tourists, which we thought was interesting. But then we met a bandoneon player, and he said that he loves the tango, and he knows a lot of young people who love it. They don't like all of it, they don't like all the music, they don't necessarily dance it, but they do love the tango. And we watched a movie called Tango Our Dance, and one of the opinions in it that was expressed was that the tango didn't need to be taken to Europe, and that it shouldn't be taken out of Argentina because it would lose its authenticity. But one of the other munogueros who was talking with this woman mentioned that when they were gone, the tango would die. And so what ended up happening, obviously, is that tango is an international export. And so I looked at tango around the world. And so this is a weekly schedule that I found on the internet. Does anyone notice anything interesting about this schedule? Any names? Ring a bell? Like San Telmo on Saturday night. This is actually a schedule from Singapore. This is a weekly schedule. There are regular classes, milongas, and practicas. Which practicas are places where you can go just to practice the milonga. It's somewhere between a milonga and a class, where you get to rehearse moves that you've already learned and improve. So we also found in looking at this worldwide tourism that a lot of the classes and a lot of the tango sites had tours that you could take to Buenos Aires. And so we were looking at the reasons why people would go to Buenos Aires to dance. And a young man who was from New Zealand, he said that when he learned tango in school, it was very standardized. And they told him how he should feel to react to the music. And he wanted to figure out how he wanted to react to the music himself. And that's why he went to Buenos Aires. And there was a young porteña, and she said that in Buenos Aires, she never felt like she was allowed to dance the tango because you couldn't go to those places. And there were social and economic barriers. She actually learned to dance abroad and then came back to her own city and began to dance. And so the question that they had was, the tango that other people dance, is it the same tango, the tango that they felt when they danced? And so here I have a compilation of several places dancing tango, and I want you to guess, see if you can tell where it's from, okay? By the style. So look at the style, see if you can see the obvious differences from what you saw and what you learned. Any guesses? Where? It was a class. Any guesses where it's from?
Like country.
Japan? That one's Australia. So here's this Ireland. Do you see any obvious differences though between the dance form? Do you see any differences between what we said? Okay, we have one more. Hear the music, same music we were hearing, same ochos. Any guesses?
Russia.
Czech Republic. The ones in Russian, the websites were in Russian. It was very hard to find folks. All right, that's cool. So from this you see that, I mean, it's not really very different. The thing that we learned about the tango in dancing with both tourists or with foreigners and with porteños is that the tango is a communication that you dance with your feet, and it's an emotion. And that's one of the people who was a porteño, he told me that tango is a communication without words, and because of that, it's above language, so not knowing how to speak their same language, you could still dance, and you were speaking their language.
Okay, so the second part of our question was, where is tango going? And the biggest thing we learned from going to alternative tangos and milongas and things like that is that its biggest thing is it's evolving with its music form and with the different neighborhoods. And this alternative and electronic tango is becoming the new future of tango. And okay, although the new future of tango appears to be the electronic tango, it seems what I noticed most from both the research I did about the dance when I got home and from going to Argentina and dancing at different milongas is that although the tango is changing into this more modern
traditional milonga, the traditional tango is ever really going to die. I think that there's this small select group of people who are striving to keep it alive. Could be just for the tourists, could be for their own personal reasons, but I think that I don't know, it's almost like they're kind of starting to split into traditional tango and new modern tango. But that's where I see it going.
And in conclusion, like any kind of fashion, dance, pop culture, anything, tango is going to rely on the people that are dancing it and the generation that's in charge. And right now, that's our generation, that's the people who are young. So if they like the traditional tango, it's going to stay alive. If they decide they don't like it, it might die, only time will tell.
And one thing that our group noticed is just how everything will eventually come back around, just like that song from the 80s, The Time of My Life, saying now the Black Eyed Peas have redone it and made it all teched out. It's just like it's gonna come back redone at some point.
It's a cycle.
It is a cycle.
Veronica.
Oh, okay, I have a question. So how did you guys finally get to sit down after 6 months?
Okay, this is the funny thing. She was our like getter. So she would go get them and dance with them forever, and then bring them back.
And pawn them off on us is the very
We
important.
would get rid
Yes.
of them though because we
Yeah,
weren't very good, and
they
so
would
we'd be like,
yeah.
dance with us, and then they'd leave.
They would
Well, and-
assume that we were as good as Sarah, and that was not the case
Yeah,
at all. So then they would be the ones to lead us because we
But
were
the
terrible.
funniest part of the whole thing was Sarah was the one in our group that could speak almost no Spanish, and so
I was fluent in tango though.
she was fluent in tango. So she was.
It was a bait and switch.
It was.
But also,
Wasn't any like little hand signals?
Well, like Sarah
Eye
said,
contact.
when you say thank you, it's kind of become equivalent with goodbye.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
Because you thank your partner when you're finished, and if you say thank you to somebody,
Mid-tonda.
you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we did have moments where we were going to go fetch Sarah if we thought she was going to be in trouble and be like, oh, it's time to go.
Yeah, there was one guy that we thought was gonna like take her home.
Those Italians.
so there were a couple that you would really have to like
Yeah.
say, okay, I am leaving now, because you would say thank you and they'd be like, but don't you want to keep dancing?
Or like
Let's just
some
do
guy,
one more.
some guy offered to buy her a drink, so she asked for water.
Yeah.
Funny stuff.
And when you were experimenting with the no eye contact, did you cheat?
No.
No, they just liked her.
No,
Yeah. And
they
she
actually
was-
told me you have to make eye contact. They were trying to lecture me on how you dance. And we noticed something we call breaking the seal. In a group, once a single person started dancing, was asked to dance, and I guess it was accepted, then the rest of the group would eventually be asked to dance as well.
And I tried to say no, and that is not an answer. And
I had a guy who, when we went to La Viruta twice in a row, the night when we were leaving, the first night when we were leaving, right as we were getting our stuff to go, some guy asked me to dance, and I said, no, thank you. And then the next night when we went back, there was a man who came right up to me and asked me to dance, and right as we got off the dance floor, he was like, don't you remember me from yesterday? I'm like, no. And like, I asked you, like, I was mad at you yesterday. I asked you to dance, and you said no. I'm like, I have no recollection of it at all.
yeah, you don't tell
But
them.
he like held it as a grudge, and he was like
He was
determined to come back and
Argentinian?
dance with me. Yes, he was
Yeah.
Argentinian.
Or they'll ask one person to dance, and they'll say no, and they'll be like, will you dance? Will you dance?
Yeah.
They really don't like it if they say no.
No, it's not an
It's like a man blow.
Adrian?
Yeah.
Ego.
Yes. Favorite milonga and favorite dance partner that you've had?
La Veruta.
La Viruta.
Um,
La Viruta.
Andres from Germany at at Canning.
Is that the one that followed you everywhere?
No.
There was
No.
one that we saw like everywhere.
What was your favorite?
Sarah, Tango Queer. No, but seriously, the guy, I don't know if you noticed the quote, or the bullet on one of Whitney's slides about Tango Queer that said, going to an alternative or a queer milonga to dance the other part to become better at your preference part. That was actually a quote that somebody said to me in an interview, some guy from Germany. He was probably my favorite of the night, of the whole trip.
My favorite was definitely La Viruta, because for those of us who weren't so great, it was a more informal setting. So usually when you're dancing with someone, you do not talk at all. Like if you mess up and you say sorry, they're like, it's okay, and then that's it. You keep going. But at La Viruta, if you